All right, what is going on, guys? I'm sorry that I took a bit. I was doing the TikTok version of the recap, but we're here for the post-game recap here. Game 54, the Rangers beat the Montreal Canadiens 7-4 in what was just a insane game at the Garden, and it feels like a lot of things that happened in this game early was just years ago at this point with how long that game felt, how long it took, but a lot of things that happened in this game, a lot of good. There was definitely some sloppiness in there in terms of the defensive side of things. Jonathan Quick was not as sharp as he's been lately. That's kind of expected, though, considering the fact that he's not going to be perfect night in and night out. So I'm not mad at Jonathan Quick for having an off night in this game because that's the last guy that I'm worried about right now with the way he's been all year. And the Rangers outscored the Jonathan Quick problem regardless, netting 7 goals. And a lot of it was in the span of a couple minutes, but we're going to talk about this game. Before we do, leave a like on the post-game show if you do enjoy it. Subscribe if you guys are new, especially if you're Ranger fans, and turn on your notifications so you know when I upload or go live on the channel. But we are going to start off by talking about something that did happen in this game that we're going to just get out of the way because of the fact that it was a scary situation. Blake Wheeler in the first period would get hurt behind the play, behind the net, the Montreal net, that is, in the offensive zone. He would get hurt there. It was just a freak little collision there, and he couldn't put any weight on that right leg after. And that was, I mean, as much as I'm very critical of Wheeler and as much as I have wanted him to be the 13th forward for this team, that's not the way that I want to see it happen. I don't want to see an injury happen. Even if I'm not a fan of the guy in terms of the player, you feel for the person in that scenario. And I hope Blake Wheeler has a quick and speedy recovery there. And it's just even more sad and scary because he's on the end, he's on the back end of his career. I think we all know that. I don't think it's a secret. And if this is a season-ending injury, you have to wonder if it's a career-ending injury for the guy. And what a sad way that would be for a guy like Blake Wheeler to go out, which, you know, as much as I'm critical of the guy in his prime, he was a really solid player for Winnipeg and Atlanta, and you don't want to see it happen that way. You do not want to see it happen that way. So it is unfortunate for Blake Wheeler there, and we'll just segue out of that because of the fact that it's kind of hard to segue out of things like that, like injuries or just anything like that. But regardless, another thing that I did want to talk about, thank you again, everyone, for 2K subscribers. I really do appreciate every single one of you guys that have showed support lately. We've been growing here like crazy on the channel. I think I started the year with 1.7, 1.6K subs, and now all of a sudden we're at 2K. So I do appreciate all of you guys that have subbed to the channel. And I said, let's do it before the Stadium Series. The Stadium Series is coming up on Sunday. It is going to be chaotic between the tailgating, between everything. If you guys are going to be at that game, well, go meet up at the Big Apple Hockey. They're doing a tailgate there. Go meet up there. That's where I will be. I will be with them, and it's going to be chaotic. So let's talk about the game, though. I do apologize that I got a little sidetracked there and that I talked about those things there. But yeah, the scoring would open in the first period for Montreal. Jake Evans would get a weird goal there. I mean, Lindgren just puck chasing. Trocheck just got lost in the coverage there. Fox just jumps in on the puck watching there, and then Evans is all alone in front of the net to score to make it 1-0. That pretty much summed up that first period entirely. The first period, I don't think it's a secret that was terrible. It's, you know, it's bad when Joe Micheletti is very pissed off in the booth himself. He was not happy with that first period, and neither was I. They had one high danger chance that period. They allowed 3. Montreal got way too many quality chances, and the Rangers, quite frankly, with the chances that they were getting, they were either missing the net on them, they were either overpassing, or they were just shooting from the boards / perimeters there, and they were not getting good enough chances at all in that period. There was a lot of turnovers, too, up the middle of the ice throughout that period. Guys stepping up when they shouldn't. Jacob Trouba getting his pocket picked on a terrible pinch. Keandre Miller with bad turnovers, too. I mean, Miller did have a big block, though, on that 3-on-1 where I'm referring to Trouba getting his pocket picked. Adam Fox, though, I will say there was a lot of ugliness, especially in that first period with him. And, you know, he finished with 4 points on the night. I agree with the chart that he looked pretty bad defensively tonight. Like, not to harp on it, or anything, but it's the truth. Like, there was definitely some concern with his play defensively tonight, but he did get 4 points. So you take the trade off, and he was pretty solid offensively throughout the night. But the second period rolls along, and it kind of started off the same way as that first period, where they were turning the puck over. They looked sloppy. Guys not shooting the puck. I mean, Joe Micheletti was getting on Mika Zibanejad for not shooting the puck at all. There was rush chances that he was getting, not shooting the puck at all. And then all of a sudden, there was just an explosion in the middle of the second period. The first line cycles after a breakaway, where Mika Kreider just had a weird shot on goal there on that breakaway, tried to go 5-hole on it. And then after that, like I said, they cycle. And then Chris Kreider with a weird little wrist shot goes in the net. I don't know how this went in. Montembeault probably wants that one back. That made it a 1-1 game. And then things were just chaotic after. I mean, Caulfield just goes right by Keandre Miller. Jonathan Quick with a glove save. Kakko with beautiful puck control, fires one in front of the net, gets denied, but it would be 2-1 as off of a draw. The Rangers cycle, and Ryan Lindgren even creating some space there, and then he finds it, Will Cooley down low, which Will Cooley, that third line was so freaking good tonight, and that third line cannot be messed with at all at this point. You can make an argument right now they're playing better than the second line. I'm going to spit a hot take. You could argue that right now. Not only are they generating chances, but they are also looking good on the defensive side. And is it time for a conversation that Kakko, is it time for a conversation that Mika and Kreider were dragging him down? It might be time for that conversation. But Will Cooley, who was battling all night, battles to the front of the net, gets the goal to make it 2-1. Then after that, Panarin with a breakaway. Matheson, though, with a good play on the back check there. And then Trocheck would go off for a high sticking penalty. And on a shorthanded opportunity, Barca Goudreau passes on a breakaway. I don't understand. I guess he's self-aware, though. I guess it's that he knows he's not going to score the goal. But it would be 3-1. Mika to the net, draws a penalty. And on the delayed penalty, the Rangers are just holding the puck. They move up the ice. Panarin to Fox over to Zibanejad, and he scores on a one-timer. They challenge it for goalie interference, the Montreal Canadiens, that is Marty St. Louis and crew, and it stands, and the Rangers get a power play after that. But this is a Zibanejad scoring on a one-timer, and he hit the post following it on the power play. That's huge, but we still need to see more. I'm not going to celebrate after one game with Mika Zibanejad scoring here and going off. Let's see it build. I want to see consistency there, but really good tonight in terms of that. And then they would continue the cycle, like I said, on that power play where Mika hit the post. Panarin fires one on Chris Kreider, who we've been screaming at, just taking nights off, time in and time out. Tips a puck in, and that made it 4-1. And all of a sudden, the Rangers just have a huge lead. Marty St. Louis, I don't know why he challenged that third goal, though. Don't understand that. That was not conclusive enough, and you're taking your team out of the game at that point. I thought that was just dumb decision-making from Marty St. Louis there. I don't understand what he's doing. That, you could argue, was what gave the Rangers a huge momentum boost in terms of their play. Because why are you challenging that? I don't understand that, but I digress. It would be 4-2 shortly after as Jacob Trouba gifts the puck right to Cole Caulfield over to Slavkovsky, who's been on fire, snipes it in 4-2. And that period, like I said, it started off very ugly, and then the Rangers really started to get going offensively, started to get more chances. And the main thing is they were capitalizing on their rush chances, something they have not been doing all season long. Nice to see it, but again, need to see consistency. Need to see it build consistently before I could celebrate in terms of just feeling like this is what the offense is going to be night in, night out. Because I don't know, because this felt like, and the score is the same, this felt very similar to the Boston game we saw in November, where the Rangers were actually capitalizing on their opportunities. They were getting depth scoring. Their top line chipped in a few goals as well, but the defense was definitely sloppy in that game as well. Jonathan Quick was sloppy in that game too. It was very similar to that game. But the third period rolls along. Power play ends, but after that, Trocheck would just fire one on goal, and it went off of Savard and in 5-2. Sure, Then you just have a mountain of penalties throughout the entirety of the period, pretty much. Brodzinski takes a delay of game. Slav to Newhook, couldn't deflect it in. But then a shot on net. Caulfield deflects it. Fox nowhere to be found on that play there, but it goes off the boards. I'm not going to blame Fox for it entirely, but he should probably tie Caulfield up there. And then it just goes off the back of the boards and behind Jonathan Quick, and he kicks it into his own net, 5-3. Weird little play there, but then the Rangers would respond. Schneider goes up the ice. I don't think he was trying to go up the ice there into traffic there, but Jimmy Vesey with a nice little board battle win. And then Mika Zibanejad gets a rush chance. A nice saucer pass, too, to Chris Kreider. I was screaming at him for passing it. Worked out, though, and he tapped it in to make it 6-3. Then Quick has to make a couple big stops. You got Keandre Miller puck watching on some plays. 7-3 to the third line yet again with a good shift. And Kaapo Kakko, who I thought was the Rangers' best player tonight. I thought Kaapo Kakko was the best player tonight for the Rangers, and he gets a goal. He deserves it. He earns it, and that makes it 7-3. But it would be 7-4 right after, as Miller with a terrible step up. Trouba's already in the neutral zone. For whatever reason, Miller decides to step up in the neutral zone, and then Caulfield just gets a lane to shoot on, and that made it 7-4. Do not understand that. Montreal got chances out the wazoo after. Gustafsson turning the puck over. Anderson almost deflects one in. And then Lafreniere takes a penalty. They got a little too complacent with the lead, I felt, but they end up securing the W. I thought, like I said, the third period, they got too complacent. They allowed some chances. They got chances, but they definitely allowed too many chances. But they get the win. They get the win. That third line is definitely my biggest positive from this game. The third line was just absolutely firing on all cylinders, and they've been now for a couple nights. And could the Rangers have found their third line? I don't know. We're hearing Kakko maybe in trade rumors still, but and it's weird. They were below 50% in terms of Corsi. It did not feel like that, considering it felt like they were just generating chances at will, and it felt like they were easily the best line. I don't agree with what Natural Statric's saying on that one personally, but I don't know. That's just me. That's just me on that one. But it does say I think they had the highest expected goals for, so yeah, they did. So that makes sense. That makes sense. And in terms of that, you gotta love Kreider and Zibanejad stepping up, but is it going to be the way going forward? Remains to be seen. There are guys that did play poor defensively in this game. If you want to look at negatives, though, Miller and Trouba were not good defensively. Lindgren was not good defensively. Fox, he had a great offensive game, not good defensively. Again, really felt like the Boston game. That's my best comparison if you want a comparable from a game this year. The Boston game. And the analytics don't look pretty in this one. They don't, but they win 6 in a row. And you could toss all of the analytics out of the window for the next game because it is going to be chaotic. They go outdoors on Sunday to play the Islanders, a rivalry game outdoors. You could chuck anything you want out the window. That game is going to just be absolutely chaotic. Absolutely chaotic. But yeah, the offense stepped up, capitalized on their chances. Didn't generate a lot, but they did capitalize on the chances that they did get, which was nice to see, especially because Montembeault is not that great of a goalie. If I'm going to sit here and complain when they don't capitalize, I can't sit here and complain when they do capitalize. So I am happy that they capitalized on the opportunities when they did get them. Would I have liked to have seen more? Yeah, generating 10 against the Montreal Canadiens at 5v5 isn't necessarily ideal. You'd like to get more, but especially because of one in the first period. But I digress. And we will see what you guys have to say in chat. I'm sorry I rambled, but before I do, leave a like I said, if you haven't already. Subscribe if you haven't already. Let's get to the chat and see what you guys have to say. And to an extent, I agree with this. I do like to look at the analytics because sometimes it tells you, too, if something's sustainable or not. So that's just me. And yeah, I agree. Lazy defense all night, but beating Montreal, regardless, wasn't going to convince you of anything. So I'll be happy with the Kreider hat trick against the terrible Habs. Yeah, that's fair. That was almost like 3 different games. Yeah, it definitely was. Yeah, the defense was not ideal in this game. Yeah, the offense bailed out quick for a change. Yeah. Yeah, not a good first period. The offense came alive, overcame the poor defensive effort, got to improve defensively for long-term success. That's exactly why I'm looking at the analytics, because you are 1,000% right, Anthony, that they have to still, they have to give an effort on the defensive side of the puck. They have to, because you're not going to be able to get away with that against better opponents. It's just that simple. But the offense too, I want to see the offense build this more often, but I do like what they did tonight. That's for sure. I don't know what hits harder, the halal food that I'm eating or this win. Probably the halal food. Halal food does slap. Halal food does slap. Yeah, we'll see what happens when they play a team like the Stars. That's good. Like I keep saying, March is really what we're going to see. We're going to see what this team's made of in March. March is still, for me, the measuring stick for what this team is. You're playing pretty much only teams that are in the hunt outside of Arizona, who are 8 points out of a playoff spot. So you could even argue they're in the hunt. So that's going to be the test. We'll see. We'll see, Anthony. We'll see. I hope you're right. I hope you're right. And I hope that I'm wrong. And I hope that I can look back. The team's holding the cup up in June. And I can look back at how I was reacting to these games in January and feel like an idiot. And if that is the case, then next season I will not be criticizing them as heavily as I am right now, because at least they've done it. But yeah, we'll see. Like I said, March is the measuring stick, in my opinion. Thank you, everyone, again. Thank you for everyone that's congratulating me on 2K subs. I appreciate all of you guys a lot. Appreciate it. Yeah, Tarasenko or Vetrano might come back. We'll see. Some cap space coming in, yeah. We'll see what happens there with Wheeler. We'll see what happens. But I hope he's okay at the end of the day. I appreciate that, Logan. I appreciate that, because there are some other Ranger creators. For you to say that I'm the best, I don't know if I agree with it, but I will take the compliment from all of you guys that are giving it. Dimitri, I appreciate it. Every single one of you. Brody, I appreciate you. Laugh, my man. I think I shouted you out, Logan. Dylan in the chat as well. NYR for life. Freak Bleach. Mike. All of you guys. Steven. Every single one of you. If I didn't say your name, I apologize. I apologize. Let's see. Yeah, leave a like if you haven't. Leave a like. Vince had an interesting stat in his post-game. Benino Pitlick had the worst metrics on the team, and they got Wave Goudreau is now the worst metrics player on the team. Yeah, it makes sense. And look at the reshaped bottom six. How about that? I didn't give a shout out to Big Ed tonight. I did not give a shout out to Big Ed tonight, and that's very shameful of me. Very shameful of me. I don't know how he's that low on the chart and how he's a negative offensively, but Big Ed was noticeable tonight. Shout out to Big Ed tonight. Adam Edstrom has been far and away better than what they've got from most of the bottom six this year. Yeah, Gustafsson too was not great defensively tonight either. Did not like Gustafsson's game either. As a unit, they could have been better, and I'm sure Laviolette's going to say the same thing in the post game. I don't know, RVA. I don't know. But all I know is that, you know what? We laughed. We mocked it. But top six Jimmy VC, is it the answer? Is it the answer? I don't know. We'll have to see. It's one game. I'm not gonna go overboard. It's one game. We will see. Do we have any post-game quotes though from Laviolette or anyone at all? Do we have any post-game quotes? because I'd love to see what he thinks of this effort in terms of the defense specifically. Drury probably is now going to be forced to make a move sooner, but we'll see because I don't know if he's going to rush to make a move. Drury doesn't usually do that at all, so I don't know. We'll see. But I can tell you right now, I have a hard time believing there's a trade happening for Sunday's game. Maybe Tuesday, but for Sunday's game, I think that's wishful thinking because there's just no way, in my opinion, that I shouldn't say there's no way because there is a way. It could happen. I think it's unlikely though. I'd be shocked if there's a trade for a guy to be here and ready for Sunday. I think Sunday we're gonna see Alex Belzile in the lineup, or Pitlick's just gonna come back up and be right in the lineup again, or maybe Othman. Maybe Othman. I'm just saying, or Berard. Let the kids play. Let the kids play. Thank you, Dylan. I appreciate that. Luke, what's going on? Thank you. Thank you so much. Demonetization. Don't demonetize me, but thank you. I appreciate that as well. Appreciate that. Appreciate every single one of you guys. The growth this year has just been absolutely insane. Thank you, Robbie. I appreciate that. And yeah, I'm with you, Glenn. It's got to be the right deal. I've agreed. I've been on that train the whole way that you don't move Kakko to move him. It's got to be the right deal. It's got to be. Yeah, the third line's looking great. Oh my God, Decision. Please note a Decision outdoor game. He was disappointed with the sleepy first period and sloppy defense. That makes sense. That makes sense. I would agree. I would agree. I know we are playing like we could and we have to fix stuff, but I can say after the All-Star break, five in a row, so they did turn it around. That's what we want. Wanted wins, right? And Igor looks much better. I know we aren't playing like we could, but 5 in a row after the All-Star break, we are getting wins and turning it around. You're just repeating that, Richard. Yeah, I mean they're getting wins. Like at least they're finding ways to win. Where before the All-Star break, they were inventing new ways to lose and looking hideous while doing it. But yeah, we'll see. Thank you, Richard. I appreciate that. Bringing up Rempe. I'd like Rempe to play. I'd do anything for this. I'd do mean things for that freak. You know that I'm on the Jordan Eberle train. They were scouting in Seattle. They were scouting in Seattle. Yeah, Othman for Steven. Do it. Yeah. Like that was World Juniors Kakko play right there when he was driving to the net for that goal. Do it more often. The channel rebrand was so smart, and having the streams after every game is more interactive and fun rather than record videos. Totally deserve the growth you've gotten this year. Luke, I do appreciate that. And yeah, I'm glad that people are appreciating that too, because I was hesitant about rebranding the channel because of people finding it, but it's definitely worked out better. And yeah, I like doing the live streams way more, way more than doing videos, because I was doing videos all of the 2021-22 season. I started doing live streams for the postseason. It was a lot better. And then, yeah, I kind of just carried that into last season. Sometimes I would do videos, and then, yeah, now I just want to only do streams. Even if I go to games, I'll come back home, fire up a stream, no matter how tired I am, no matter what time I get home. Hopefully RVA. I'm not going to celebrate and do cartwheels and backflips over one game, but it was nice to see Mika ripping one-timers at least tonight, or at least attempting. So let's hope. Let's hope. Oh, I cannot wait too. True defect. Cannot wait to freeze on Sunday. It's going to be wild. It is going to be absolutely wild. Sunday's game, in terms of the tailgating, in terms of everything. A little content house between me and the boys too. You guys will get some fun. I don't know what we're going to do exactly content wise. I got to figure out some video ideas for myself. You guys might get some like group content type hockey videos there, which I think will be really fun. A live podcast too. It's going to be fun. It's going to be chaotic. Yeah, live layup talk with the Big Apple hockey tailgate there. Yeah, Novak would be a nice ad. I agree with that. Yeah, we need to see Kakko score more consistently. Yeah. And I'm not even asking for Kakko to be a point per game player. I'm beyond the point where he's not going to be that. But if he could be a 40 to 50 point guy, chipping goals every now and then, at least show a consistent offensive effort where he's trying to get the chances and generating them, then I'm not complaining at all. Nick, you're going? Let's go. Luke, you're going too. You're going on a bus with a bunch of people and having a huge tailgate. Going to be so sick. Yeah, I'm going to probably be. Apparently, what they were saying on Big Apple Hockey is that the buses need to go to a separate lot. So wherever the bus lot is, I will be over there with Big Apple Hockey since they are getting a bus themselves. And I think they're doing a live show outside the stadium. I thought about maybe firing up a live show outside the stadium. Have to debate on that. I'm not 100% sure, but potentially. But I will be on that side of the lot. He's 23. Some players develop later. Yeah, I mean, we're seeing it with Casey Middlestat, where all of a sudden he started growing a bit, but I want to at least see him like visibly be better like he was tonight on a more consistent basis. That's really all. Like that's really all I'm asking for right now. I'm not asking for the world from Kakko. Yeah, I'd like to see VC on a better fourth line too, like or with better line mates. I really was interested to see if they got Corey Perry, how that dynamic would have worked. I'm very interested. Or I was interested, I should say, because now the ship has sailed. Unless Corey Perry comes here after this season, but I don't know if that's going to happen. I'm not sure if that's going to happen at all. But I don't know what's going to happen at all on oh my god, Sam Montembeault had a minus 4.25 goal save above expected. That is that's rough. I don't know what's going to happen at all on Sunday in terms of the game itself. Like this could either be high scoring or low scoring. Like I don't see it being in the middle. I see it either being like a 7-4 game like this, or it's going to be like a tight 2-1 game. Don't think you're going to see like anything in between at this point. The Islanders got bag skated too, which is a problem in my opinion. Which is a very big problem in my opinion for that. And they have the extended rest. Could work out in the Rangers' favor, but I will say that them getting bag skated is definitely not a good sign for the Rangers, to be honest. Oh, there's going to be a fight. It's going to be a fight. It will not be me personally, but there's going to be a fight. It's going to be a fight. I agree that the Leafs are fugazi. I'm not a Leafs believer at all. I am far from a Leafs believer. Don't get me wrong, they have some very good pieces up front, but the defense every year, and now they have to rely on Ilya Samsonov to steal them games, which don't know about that one. Yeah, I mean, I think you could see that as a future third line, especially if Brodzinski keeps this up. Does he have another year after this or no? Let's see. No, he doesn't. with the way Brodzinski's playing, he might command actually a bit of money. Hopefully not, and hopefully he's comfortable staying here. And they could give him a bigger role next year, and he'll stay for cheap. But if not, yeah, Edstrom might fill the role of that third line center spot if Hedl doesn't come back too. It sucks to say, but it's looking more and more like, and I don't want to look too far in terms of offseason, but as good as Brodzinski's playing, he's probably going to be the odd man out after this season, especially if Hedl comes back, because then the 1 through 4 down the middle is going to be Mika, Trocheck, Hedl, Edstrom. Probably be that. Yeah, Sedin twins didn't break out until late. Yeah. We'll see with Broadway. I'm starting to buy more into Johnny Broadway, but I still want to see more of this, because there was a stretch. I'm not going to forget the stretch where he was invisible at one point between when he first got called up and this recent stretch of play. It could just be from line juggling and line movements, but I want to wait and see before I jump to conclusions. But if he keeps playing like this, he might be the odd man out after the season, and it would suck. I can't say that's unfair, Mike. I'm more so like viewing Goudreau as a winger, or if not, I'm hoping that they could just move him out. I hope they can move him out, but I was viewing him more as a winger in that scenario. I mean, he had the double shift guys, though, to be honest. He had to put Panarin up there. I don't know how he could be upset about that. He had to do what he had to do. A guy got hurt. You're rocking with 11 forwards. Yeah, this weekend is going to be chaotic and really good. It's going to be great. Yeah, him, Coles, and Kako are gelling. Yeah, they are. I agree, but realistically, let's be honest here. Unless Hedl comes back and moves to the wing, it's hard to envision a future with Johnny Brodzinski, especially if he starts commanding money. Unless he doesn't, and then the 1 through 4 down the middle, Brodzinski's the fourth line center, and Edstrom plays the wing. Who knows? But that's off-season talk. I'm not going to get ahead of myself there. Sadly, that won't happen. To God's ears, Robert, I don't see it with an 80-point, maybe a 60-point ceiling, but I am hoping you're right. I am hoping that you are right, Robert. If it's a season-ending injury, yeah, it's a career-ending injury. If it's a season-ending injury, it's a career-ending injury. We got the Rangers promo for their outdoor video, for the outdoor game, which is just I'm not gonna lie, this is a brutal advertisement, but sure thing. I love Will Cooley. And I think that he is definitely the most underrated rookie in the league right now. And I know he's not going to get Calder votes, but I said it last post game. I'm not asking for anything. He doesn't deserve to win it. I get it. Somebody vote 5th place for him. Give him a 5th place vote. That's what I want to see for Will Cooley. Give him a 5th place vote. Put him on the ballot in some regard. That would make me happy. Presented by Delta, yeah. It's like they embrace the next man up mentality, and it sucks that it takes that sometimes, but I'm hoping they could just continue to build it. And yeah, if it's an ACL injury, his career's probably done. He's 37 at this point. I don't see him fighting back, especially when his foot speed was already slowing down. I just don't see him coming back but I could be wrong. But I don't know. Like, I just can't see a team even taking a chance on that either. Like, he would be 38, 39 at that point. Like, maybe he gets a short, like a 1 year deal in Winnipeg at very cheap just for a one last hurrah, but that's about it. I hope that that comes in terms of point production. I don't think Cooley's going to put up Wilson points, but I do think he could be Tom Wilson light in the regard of the way he plays because he does model his game after it. He's admitted it after Tom Wilson, but if he could just be like a 30, 40 point guy in the bottom six, you take that all day, especially with what Elias Anderson was giving, and you got a second round pick in return. All roads lead back to Winnipeg. You are not wrong. Logan, I'm not going to put the comment up, but I won't lie. Not wrong. It's the holiday season light. Yeah. It's the holiday season. My God. I was talking about that earlier, Matt, with my brother. That was just funny. Yeah. Yeah. Cooley's going to be the guy that other fan bases don't know about. But then when they're going to know soon. They're going to know soon. Yeah, like I could see it. I could see him going back to Winnipeg at most for a last little go around. Maybe not even play a full season, just a couple games, be like a rotational forward for them, or just even play like one game just for a feel good story and let him go out with a game and let him go out the right way. I don't know. I am hoping that Jordan Eberle is the guy that the Rangers are targeting, because if it is not Jordan Eberle and they are looking at any other right winger, especially if Eberle is available, they are out of their mind. I don't care. That's one of the guys. I don't care about the asking price. I don't care if he's a rental. That's the guy that I want. Outside of Gensel. Outside of Gensel, technically. But Gensel's hurt right now, so probably not going to happen. But Jordan Eberle is the guy that I want badly. Really badly. Need to draft more players like Cooley. I think Drury's been putting an emphasis on it, which is why you saw them take Othman, why they have a guy like Edstrom in the organization, why they've been, drafting all these type of players that we've seen lately. I wouldn't file Gabe Perreault under that category, but you get the point. You get the point. But Gabe Perreault fell in their lap, so yeah, this is it right here, that they never developed guys cheap for the bottom six, and now they're starting to do it, which is huge progress. I didn't love Quick's game tonight, but the offense helped them out and has back. This would be a very good deadline if they get Eberle and Boone Jenner, but I don't think it's going to happen. But if Brodzinski keeps playing like this, I'm just saying, they might not need a Boone Jenner. They might have their 3C. I'd ideally like them more at the 4C, but if that line's gelling, you got to keep them together, but they still need a bottom six piece. If I'm Chris Drury and crew, I'm looking at a top line right winger, a fourth line center / winger, and a left shot defenseman. Yeah, Rempe too. That's another example of a guy. Yeah, I'd love it if they drafted centers, but I don't know why they don't. Yeah, I wish they could just make the deal with the Penguins. Frank Vetrano. I wouldn't hate Vetrano. I prefer Eberle personally, but I would not hate Vetrano. To me, it's just like I'm dying. I'm drinking the Eberle Kool-Aid. Like last year, I I wouldn't say there was necessarily a guy like desperately wanted last year, to be honest. Like I loved it was cool seeing two of my childhood favorites in Tarasenko and Kane coming over. But it's not like I was dying for them, but like I was dying for Kopp 2 years ago. They overpaid, but I was dying for him. I got Andrew Kopp. Eberle's the guy I'm dying for this year. I would love them to acquire Dowd, but apparently there was a report that the asking price is a first round pick, and to that I say no. As much as I would love Nick Dowd, I think he fits his team great. For a first round pick, no. No. Scott Lawton, yeah, get out of here. Let's not talk about Scott Lawton. I'm already discussed. I had to make a video about Scott Lawton, but I'm gonna wrap things up here. I'm sorry for keeping it somewhat short. I gotta be up very early tomorrow, so I do appreciate every single one of you guys that did tune into the post game show here. So please leave a like if you have not already. Please subscribe if you haven't already. We're we're on the road now to, I guess, 2.5K subs for right now. So Sunday will be absolutely chaotic, and there will probably be a podcast episode in between. So yeah, we'll see you guys in the next one, though. See you guys in the next one, which will be the podcast or Sunday's post game or both. But I'll see you guys then.